Hey, what is up, mortals? It is BubblyNami here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 6 of What If Eri Was in Class 1A. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. And so, we begin. As Eri and Izuku walked towards the pristine building that held the heroes of the next generation, neither of them could ignore the butterflies in their stomach. Well, it was less so butterflies and more so hornets. Letting out a shaky breath, Eri faced her green-haired friend. "Izuku?" Eri piped up. Izuku looked at Eri, and the girl noticed a waterfall of sweat pouring down the poor boy's head. "Yeah? What's up, Eri?" The plain-faced teen struggled to muster out. Eri took a deep breath, trying not to let Izuku's nervousness get her any more anxious than she already was. "Promise me you'll be doing your best, okay? We can't let all that training go to waste, right?" Izuku shook himself and slapped his face, trying to regain his composure. The result came in the form of Izuku, bug-eyed and sporting a smile that did no favors in hiding his fear. You're right. We have to prove to Eraser and All Might that we were worth the time. Now's our chance. Our time to be heroes." Izuku charged forward like a man on a mission, dead set on entering UA's doors. Almost immediately, however, he tripped upon his shoelace and began to free fall to the ground. Eri tried to rush in to help, but stopped dead in her tracks when Izuku began to float. Bewildered, she looked to the boy's left to see a round-faced girl with a hand placed on Izuku's shoulder. "Are you okay?" Helping him to his feet, the girl pressed her fingertips together, and she gave the two a smile so bright it nearly blinded them. "I stopped you with my quirk. I'm sorry I didn't ask first, but I figured you wouldn't mind me catching you." Izuku stared back like a raccoon caught dumpster diving, much to Eri's amusement. The blue-haired girl had to pinch herself to not giggle, as she watched the scene unfold of this clueless girl babble on as Izuku held his mouth open like a fish. "Sorry, I don't think I ever got your name." Eri saw that the bubbly girl was now facing her, her index finger resting on her cheek. "Eri, and the talkative boy there is Izuku." Ochako let out a chuckle as she gave Eri a friendly wave. "I'm already beginning to like you. Well, Eri, Izuku, good luck to you both. See you out on the field." Ochako replied before walking toward the building. "Yeah, best of luck to you too, Ochako." Izuku sputtered out, earning a kind nod from Ochako and a very smug look from Eri. You managed to get a full sentence out to a girl who wasn't me. I guess even I have trained you, in one way or another." Izuku heaved out an unstable breath before shakily replying, "Thank you for your teachings, master." "Out of my way, losers!" Both Izuku and Eri tensed up as they recognized that voice. Walking past them was one irritated Bakugo Katsuki. "Tch, I don't want to know what stupid brother-sister thing you got going on. So do us all a favor and stay on my way today. Got it?" Eri sighed before giving a small nod. "Wouldn't want to be near you anyway." Bakugo simply gave a simple "Kh" in response before sauntering away, tiny explosions singing from his fingertips. As the ashen blonde left, Eri stared daggers at the bully, but Izuku kept his gaze focused on the ground. Eri let out a sigh before nudging Izuku. "Hey, you can't let him bother you forever." The girl spoke, empathy evident in her tone. Izuku spared his friend a glance, before sighing to himself. "I know," Izuku meekly responded. "It's just, back when we were kids, me and Kachan were so different. Sure, he was still rash, but we actually got along pretty well. But when he got his quirk, it was like everything before never happened." Eri could feel the pain emanating from her brother by heart. She barely had any experience with friendship before Izuku, so she couldn't even imagine what the green-haired teen was feeling. Trying to think of something to say, her gaze drifted to a nearby clock. "Hey, it's almost time for the exams to begin. How about we find some seats and get your mind off things, yeah? I heard Mike is giving a speech." Izuku's face immediately perked up at the mention of the loud, blonde pro. Looking at his friend with a faint smile, he nodded. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Satisfied with her friend's slightly more chipper mood, Eri led the two into the school, both mentally preparing themselves for whatever lied ahead. How goes it, fellow listeners? Yelled the pompous voice of one present Mike, who stood in the middle of the stage amid the sea of students within UA High's auditorium. The sudden introduction of the sound woke up Eri from her hypnotized focus on the written exam in front of her. Looking to her left, she saw Izuku, stars in his eyes as he was laser focused on the loud hero. Eri couldn't hide the amused smirk that crept up on her lips. Even when he already talked to him, he still acts like a fanboy, the brunette thought to herself. I hope that the written exams didn't take all the energy out of you, cause the main performance begins now! Mike yelled with passion. A screen behind him buzzed to life, showing a little city followed by 3 silhouette robots. Okay, let's check out your targets, Mike continued, his voice more matter-of-fact now. There are 3 types of pseudo-villains in every battle center. You'll earn points based on their level of difficulty, so choose wisely. Eri looked at her card she got when she entered the building. Sure enough, she was assigned the same battle center as Izuku. A graphic showed up on the screen, showing a pixel version of Mike walking along a city and destroying various robots. Your goal is to use your quirk to shred these pseudo-villains like the sickest guitar solo. Yamada then struck a dramatic pose. His finger pointed to the mass of students in front of him. But check it! Make sure you're keeping things heroic. Attacking other examies is a UA no-no. You dig? Excuse me, sir, but I have a question. The stern voice grabbed Eri's attention. Looking a few rows in front of her, she saw a boy with dark blue hair and glasses. His posture was so straight it was almost robotic. While the boy's aura uneased Eri, Mike seemed unfazed by the boy's stiff body stance. Dramatically gesturing toward the boy, the pro excitedly yelled, "Hit me!" Seeing that his go-ahead to speak, the boy quickly grabbed a paper on his desk. A stern finger on the paper, he spoke up. On the printout you listed 4 types of villains, not 3. Intrigued, Eri looked at her own copy of the paper, and sure enough, there were 4 silhouette robots. With all respect, if this is an error on official UA material, it is shameful, the boy continued, earning awkward stares from multiple students, but he didn't even seem to notice, instead continuing with his tirade. We are exemplary students, we expect the best out of Japan's most noble school. A mistake such as this won't do! At this point, the boy's entire body rotated. His index finger now pointed at Midoriya. Additionally, you with the unkempt hair. Midoriya was shaken out of one of his mumbling spells as he looked back to the robotic boy, pointing a finger at himself in confusion. You've been muttering the entire time. Stop that. If you can't bother to take this seriously, leave. You're distracting the rest of us. Izuku immediately clasped his hands over his mouth, muttering a small sorry in the process. Eri, on the other hand, was more annoyed by this new kid, sending him a glare to make her feelings clear. Look, I get it. You came here to be a hero, just like all of us. But that gives you no more reason to be a jerk. If you're gonna be a hero, the least you could do is learn to be polite, Eri remarked, irritation laced with every word. The boy seemed taken aback by her words, as though he had never been talked back to in his life. Alright, examee number 7111. Thanks for calling in with your request. President Mike cooled in, ushering for the conversation to come to a close. On the screen behind Mike, a new silhouette popped up, matching the 4th robot on the paper. This guy is worth 0 points. That guy's just an obstacle we'll be throwing in your way. Once again, the pixelated Mike came on the screen, this time walking towards the 4th robot. Instead of fighting it like the others, Pixel Mike instead made a mad dash away from the robot. There's one in every battle center. Think of it as a hurdle you should try to avoid. It's not that it can't be beaten, but there's kinda no point. I recommend my listeners to try and ignore it and focus on the ones topping the charts. Although still taken aback by Eri's statement, the blue-haired boy remained still as he was stiffly bowed to Mike. Thank you very much. Please continue. And with that, the boy sat back in his seat, still maintaining his robotic posture. Oh, I get it, a random classmate muttered. So it's kinda like traps you gotta get by in games. The whole thing's like a video game, huh? Another student replied. Mike waved his hand in the air, motioning attention to come back at him. That's all I've got for you today. I'll sign you off with a little present. A sample of our school's motto. As General Napoleon Bonaparte once laid down, a true healer is one who overcomes life misfortunes. That is a tasty soundbite. Mike leaned in, giving a wink to the students. Are you ready to go beyond? Let's hear a plus ultra! Unfortunately for the teacher, none of the students would follow through with his chant. Instead, all keeping to themselves. Eri turned to Izuku, prepared to ask him if he was okay. To her amusement, however, a bright, almost too innocent smile emanated from Izuku, eyes glistening. He turned to Eri. This is it, Eri. This is finally our chance to become heroes. We've been training so hard for this. Now's the time to prove to everyone who believed in us. Eri didn't hesitate as she gave her best friend a firm nod. Let's not keep them waiting then. We've got some mentors to make proud. With a newfound vigor in their spirits, Izuku and Eri proceeded to the battle exams. Inside a room on the other side of UA, a group of pros were hovering over several monitors. On these monitors were shots of what were to be shown the playground of all their examees, to prove their worth to enter UA. Among these pros was a muscled up All Might and a tired looking Eraserhead. While the other adults were chatting away discussing potential stars within the new roster of potential students, the two mentors found themselves silent, their minds focused on something else. That being their respective prodigies. Aizawa's gaze landed on Yagi's muscular form, his worry evident even through the man's trademark smile. The raven-haired pro pinched his nose as he sat back on the lounge chair in the room. Yagi took notice of Shota's irritated pose, and gave an awkward wave to the man. Aizawa simply glared at the man, causing the blonde to awkwardly shuffle to a random party of heroes. The hero known as Eraserhead took the moment to rest his eyes, finally getting a moment to think to himself. Hey there, grumpy pants! Was wondering why you were sulking. Aizawa audibly groaned in frustration as he opened his eyes to see the rabbit hero Mirko standing in front of him, an amused smirk on her energetic face. What you moping about this time? Go away, was the underground hero's simple response to Mirko. Mirko, instead of obliging, plopped herself down on a chair next to him, leaning on the chair's arm, then faced the tired man. After a few moments of feeling the bunny girl's intense gaze, Aizawa turned to face Rumi. Why are you even here? The increasingly more irritated Aizawa asked. Eri and her little cutie friend are doing their entrance exams. No way in hell am I not going to be here supporting her, the rabbit woman replied. Something tells me you're here more for the same. That, and it's my job, Aizawa replied matter-of-factly, wishing the conversation would end soon. Man, you're just full of glum, aren't you? Mirko replied, her charismatic smile never leaving her face. Aizawa only gave a grunt in response to the jab, causing the rabbit hero to sigh. She then took notice of where Aizawa was looking, directly at All Might, who himself was striking up a conversation with a few other pros. What did the old man do this time? Mirko asked, her brow quirked in a playful curiosity. Aizawa spared the energetic woman before rolling his eyes. Eri's friend? Yagi thought it'd be a good idea to put him directly under the line of fire. I mean, for God's sake, the kid just awakened to his new quirk. Yeah. Pretty sure Greedy is the old man's successor. Aizawa raised an eye to Mirko's comments. What? You think I wouldn't have noticed? She asked playfully. I've seen that kid hanging out with the oldie like every other week, while on my patrols. They're connected like glue. The rabbit hero looked around her, before leaning next to Aizawa's ear. Even in oldie's skinny form, the hero whispered. Aizawa's eyes shot open. He looked at the girl warily, only to see the rabbit hero give a hearty laugh, grabbing the attention of a few people standing nearby. When the surrounding crowd slowly went back to their own conversation, Mirko gave her peer a reassuring smile. Relax, drama queen, she spoke. I won't squeal to anyone. It's none of my business anyhow. Aizawa was not amused by the woman's matter-of-fact tone. However, then why did you feel so comfortable telling me? Aizawa whispered angrily. Mirko simply rolled her eyes as if the answer was already clear.
"'Cause you obviously already knew, knucklehead. You're always hanging out with Eri, and I've seen her with Izuku and Skitty Mite. Doesn't take a genius to consider that you, more than likely, are in the know too."
Mirko's smile flattered, her face turning more serious.
"Which is why you have no reason to worry."
Aizawa's frustration turned to confusion as he looked to his peer.
"If he and Grandpa over there have been training for so long, he knows what he's going into. Yeah, he might not be some immediate fighting champion, but none of those kids are. That's why they're here. Earn the opportunity to learn from you guys. And honestly, who are you really worried for? Him or Eri? You think she doesn't know the circumstances of this? The dangers that come with it? Stop underestimating her."
Aizawa was taken aback by Mirko's words. The pro in question got up from her chair before flashing Aizawa her trademark smug grin.
"You know, for someone who likes to act like a know-it-all, you sure can be clueless sometimes."
And with that, the pro sauntered her way, giving a playful wink to a gazing hero as she looked at one of the monitors in the room. Aizawa stared at the floor as he contemplated his peer's words. Had he really been underestimating Eri? Were his fears really just overthinked nonsense? His answer would come soon enough, as from the monitors he saw the door to the various battle centers open, as well as the energetic voice of Mike booming through the loudspeaker. "Alright, future heroes, now's the time to rock! Show us what you're made of! Go beyond plus ultra!" Thank you all so much for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. I really hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before we end today's video. Firstly, we have a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It is sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. On top of that, we have a third channel as well, called We the Celestials Naruto What Ifs. It's what we do on this channel already, but in the vast world and lore of Naruto. Go check it out if you're in the mood for some jutsu action. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend our invitation to join the team. The only caveat being, we can only accept members 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. Our Discord is an all-round fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or just looking to join our band of misfits. We're always looking for more members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.